We're going to have a version of cover three, where three defensive backs have the deep thirds of the field, and then four guys hang out in that mid-level. Now, the reason that it's going to be weird looking is because if we just let the play run a little bit, you see this safety's obviously running at the offensive line, and that's because he is going to blitz, and that's why we have this defensive end at the top of the screen dropping out into coverage. So it's still going to function the same as cover three, but it's much more difficult to detect pre-snap, and really, I don't expect Penix to understand what he's seeing until right now, milliseconds before the snap, when the safety starts charging at him. That being said, let's diagram the routes, and I'll show you how Penix should be thinking through this play. So Odunze is going to run this kind of like post-stop. And over on the other side, you're going to have some motion and a similar kind of veer curl. Now, the primary read against cover two, which is what it looks like to begin with, right? Because you got these two safeties up at the top, and before you see the third safety charge in, basically, to blitz, you think this is probably going to be split field coverage. It's probably going to be cover two. If that's the case, you've got Odunze, I think this is Polk, coming on this deep over, and he'll basically just run away from the coverage. So that's what Penix is thinking. What he should be thinking, however, you've got this running back who's going to block for a second and then release into a screen over here. Now, at the exact second that Penix sees that safety charge up towards the line of scrimmage, he should realize, oh, this is going to be some kind of a blitz. I'm probably not going to have time for this big, deep, winding over route to clear all the defenders. Additionally, it turns out, if Penix was clairvoyant, he would understand that Arizona's not actually showing him cover two. They're showing him cover three, and therefore the over is not the move anyway. Let's run the film. Let's get rid of all this clutter. And I'll show you how Penix kind of messes this up. So you do get the blitz that we thought, and the offensive line picks it up perfectly. Penix shifts a little bit in the pocket, so that's nice. That's about as much playmaking as we're going to get from him. We see Odunze hit that post curl, and he stops. Nothing. Look, it could be open. You could gun that in there. But Penix isn't particularly comfortable throwing on the run. He needs that longer release to drive the ball 15 yards past the line of scrimmage, and there is a linebacker underneath who makes it scary. I get it. What you should never do is look at number two, who's crossing the entire field and running into double coverage, and launch him a floater. Now, Penix does the best thing he can do by throwing it out of bounds where only his guy can get it, but that's not a throwaway. That's just a bad throw. Meanwhile, I want you guys to see something right here. Remember that running back who I said was going to release into a screen? Yeah, when you have a blitz, you know that they have less guys downfield. When they have a blitz, running back is usually the first guy who gets let free, who gets uncovered. So dump the ball out to him. It's not third down. You have the option. And as you'll see, if he would have done that, your running back's got one dude to beat to get to the sticks. Like, as long as he beats that linebacker number 5 in the middle of your screen, nobody else is going to stop him. He's going to get a good chunk of yardage. And you're going to stay ahead of the downs on first down. Penix really messed up. Here it is again. Yeah, you have a tiny bit of pressure, and this throws Penix into panic mode. He just can't handle it. And rather than hitting this screen, and you've even got a lead blocker out there, dude. Let your running back cook. God forbid he cuts it up the middle with that lead blocker, taking out that linebacker. Open alley. Tons of room to play with on first down, and Penix instead puts the ball out of bounds because he's scared, because he didn't read properly pre-snap, which is understandable, but he read really poorly post-snap, handling the externalities like crap.